It's a story of strength, legacy, and rediscovery. One East Texas woman has traced her ancestry all the way back to the Monteverde plantation in Rusk County.
These wonderful people are my great-grandparents. This is Mahalie. We called her Helen, that actually grew up on the plantation there at Monteverde.
But the injustice, too, of selling slaves, breaking up families.
Monteverde would become one of the top cotton-producing plantations in Texas.
People didn't always know that the slaves, even in East Texas, came from Monteverde.
It's why Juneteenth holds such a deep meaning, a celebration of freedom, resilience, and remembrance.
As you know more than most, when Texas seceded from Mexico and declared independence in 1836, a central reason was that Mexico, under a president of African descent, speaking of Vicente Guerrero, had moved to abolish slavery. Right. And the slave owners in Texas, including those who led the revolt, speaking of Sam Houston, Stephen F. Austin, et al., rather than acquiesce to slavery, they decided to start an independent country, the Republic of Texas, which, interestingly enough, after it came into independence, began to challenge the United States for leading the African slave trade. The Lone Star flag of Texas could be found off the coast of Angola in Southwest Africa, off the coast of Brazil, the major market, off the coast of Cuba. Of course, if you look at your map, you'll see there's a straight shot from Galveston, Texas, the major slave trading port, to Cuba.
Victims of the transatlantic slave trade and their descendants have shaped Brazil's economy, politics, spirituality, art, culture, and sports. An African soul permeates the very essence of contemporary Brazil. Back in the 16th century, one of the most appalling tragedies in humanity took place: the transatlantic slave trade. Not only because of its abhorrent barbarism, but also in terms of its magnitude, organized nature, and mainly the negation of the heart of its victims. Millions of men, women, and children lost their lives and endured immense suffering during the voyage across the Atlantic and upon their arrival in the Caribbean and the Americas. Professor Hélio Santos is president of the Foundation for Racial Equality.
40% dessas pessoas vieram para o Brasil.
That's more than 4 million slaves. When they arrived in Salvador de Bahia, they were led to Pelourinho Square.
Pelourinho é o lugar onde as pessoas eram vendidas e também eram torturadas.
Merchants and plantation owners placed bets at public auctions. Helpless slaves were awarded to the highest bidder. Many were bought to work under extreme conditions on sugar plantations, a commodity that changed international trade during colonialism and boosted Brazil's economy. Brazil was the last country in the Americas to abolish slavery in 1888. But for Afro-Brazilians, the struggle is far from over. A plot of land that 34-year-old Sandra de Santos' ancestors worked and lived on for generations. Now called the Quilombo of Danda, runaway slaves banded together here, fleeing oppression and violence. Once free, they call themselves Quilombolas, a term for people of African origin.
This has been a Kinkinati production. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, links are in the description.